Hello and welcome to our newsletter here in November 23, and just reflecting on the energy of November, it really feels, I don't know if it's an age thing, but time just sort of condenses. And I get that feeling with November that we're all speeding up. It's almost like this quantum leap that we're taking. We're rushing towards that destination of Christmas. And November is just sort of bypassed almost. It's been a really unusual energy. What I've found with people is that speeding up of energy externally and events impacting us, that we're really tired. And it's almost like the year's caught up with us. So we're feeling physically really quite exhausted, but also mentally and emotionally quite exhausted. It's been a really unusual year where we've just been impacted by constant major events external to us, but somehow we still feel impacted on a personal level. And I think what that shows me in particular, and possibly yourselves, is that we don't live in isolation, that we are all impacted and we're all part of this global community, albeit on a very small part, but we are all feeling on a level the impact of these events. And so, I feel November, everyone just wants to get through November, to get to their holidays, to just get some time out. It's just been a little bit fraught. And I think one of the things that has come to mind through my clients, many of whom have those teenage children who are transitioning either into teenagehood or transitioning from teenagehood into adulthood. And there's a sense that they feel a little bit lost and a little bit isolated. And I mean that both from the children's perspective, but also from the parents' perspective. How do we cope with a child of the digital age? How do we provide a sense of safety when there's so much information going on? And again, that's being connected to this global community. Even though we don't think we are connected. So there's lots of clients with children that I've been dealing with up and down the country, sort of trying their very best to understand what is happening within their young adults' lives and how they can best support them. And I feel that, we need to really dig deep. We can't compare their childhood to our childhood or our childhood to their childhood. It's two different things. So we need to think about different ways and different strategies and think on a different level of how we can parent to the best that we can. So there's been lots of digging deep with parents this month, and that's been really interesting because it's made me reflect as a parent how I'm coping with my young adult who is living his life and doing the very best that he can. I feel November on some level has been about family, be it your close family, your friendship families, those extended family members, and whether you're a parent trying to cope with a child or a partner trying to cope with a partner, whether you're dealing with family members that are distant to you or overseas, it feels that family and how we're coping and how we're changing has also been integral to November, even though we're trying to rush through this month. These events are coming in and we're having to find time just to take a breath, having to find time just to stand still because what I'm feeling with people, especially my clients, I have been quite busy with clients this month, even though I'm busy in other areas of my working life as well. But it's been really interesting how they want those answers. They want those answers now. They want that instant gratification. But I'm actually saying, well, what I think you need to do is just take a breath and stand still. And I want you to think about this. And I feel that's what November has been, is this feeling that time is rushing past. So we get to this Christmas time, we get some time off, but that has brought up lots of other things that we don't feel we have time for, but we actually have to make time for. And that's in helping those parents dealing with their teenage children, helping people dealing with changes within work, helping people dealing with family members coming in from the cold, so to speak, and how do I communicate with that person? So it has been a really interesting process for me, just watching and then reflecting that in my own life. How am I having to deal with that on a personal level? Because we're all linked and we all have the same energy that's going around in this year of the rabbit. I think it's really interesting that it is coming up to the last few months of the year of the rabbit. And I think we forget that energy. We discussed it in February. And I'm busy talking to my suppliers in China, etc., for our family business. And they're all looking forward to their Chinese New Year at the end of January. So they're really excited. And I think we forget that the year of the rabbit, what does that mean? What did we discuss back then in February? And this is what we discussed. We discussed that what is hiding, what has been hidden below the surface is going to come up, because rabbits, they live in burrows. So they live underground. So things that we've been suppressing, putting to one side, ignoring, is all coming up to the surface. It has to come up. A rabbit has to come up. So all of that underground energy is coming up. And we can see in recent events with the latest outbreak of war, for want of a better word, that's all been bubbling under the ground, under the surface, that it has this tension, and then it's come up, boom, and it's right there. And so we're still dealing with that. We still have 2 months, basically, of this energy. And Christmas time will always bring things up to the surface. We cannot negate that. So there'll be family stuff that will come up. Maybe things within your workspace that you've been burying all year may come up to the surface. So really take time to think about the year of the rabbit. There's also this process with the year of the rabbit where it's all about rush, productivity, haste, and fear-driven, because rabbits are prey animals. So they're constantly in a state of anxiety. They're constantly on edge. And we're coming up to that final few months where you might find that you're being drawn in or sucked into that energy, not only just because it's Christmas, but it is the year of the rabbit as well. So we've got this sort of double whammy of the characteristics of the rabbit impacting us as humans in that final embers of that year. So really, when I'm saying to my clients, and I've said it a lot this month in particular, I want you to take time, take a breath and think. Take a breath and just look at what is happening. What is the world telling you? Be more reflective rather than reactive, because then you're going to be making the right decisions at the right time, or finding the right words that will help you get through this period. So it's been a really dynamic month this month. And I'm recording this on the last day of November. I just wanted to get this month really in this month. I normally do my recording sort of in the first week of the following month, but I wanted to really just encapsulate the feelings of November in November so that I can take a breath and then go into December. So it's been an interesting time, and I hope that you guys find that what I'm saying has been helpful. It maybe will put a perspective on what you've been going through and will help you sort of turn that around a little bit. So lots going on there, which is really cool. I have finished the last of my Reiki classes for 2024. Congratulations to my new Reiki 2 and Reiki 3 students. And of course, I'm working my way through with a Reiki master teacher in training. So she just has another couple of months to go and she will graduate as a new Reiki master teacher. And I have to say my Reiki classes have been a real joy, is the word that comes to mind. Simply because when I sit with students at level 1, I say, this is a life-changing experience. And then they'll come back at level 2 and go, oh my gosh, that's been a life-changing experience. That's when they get it. Reiki is that wonderful self-healing tool that I think anyone can benefit from, and we integrate it into our lives. We live a Reiki lifestyle that will hopefully help you get through these periods where we feel really frantic or can feel frantic. So a huge, huge thank you to all of my Reiki 1, Reiki 2 and Reiki 3 students this year. It's just been wonderful working with those students in person. Also a huge thank you to all of my students on Insight Timer who are working their way through the courses, the audio courses, and joining me in my lives. I just have such a lot of fun doing the live talks on Insight Timer, and it truly is a global audience that I have there from all across Europe and America. And so that has been a really wonderful thing. But what I do have coming up with those interactions, I'm really, really honoured and delighted to be doing a collaboration with a self-reflection art class with Leanne Malik. And that's on January the 13th. The details are in the newsletter. Places are limited, but we're going to be taking you into a deeply healing meditation. That's my part. And I will be interpreting the meditation and helping you with the colour palette for your painting. And then Leanne, she is the art teacher, and she is going to be helping you really define your thoughts and feelings into that image, and then you'll create your piece of art. So we're really excited. This is a first for the both of us, and the 13th of January is when it is. It's a full day course with light refreshments, music, and fun. It should be a really fun experience. I know I'm looking forward to it. I am really excited. I have been sharing my art pieces with you. I've got one on the back of the wall here that I've just loved doing under Leanne's tutelage when I go to her classes. So I'm really hoping that this is maybe the first of a couple of these art events during the year. So that is exciting. So I hope you have enjoyed what we've discussed. There's a few bits and pieces in the newsletter down below. If you're watching this on the newsletter, if you're watching this on YouTube, then subscribe to my newsletter through my website. Keep up to date with what is going on, be it via online or in person. And I hope that December, which will be our last month that we will be reviewing, obviously, for 2024. I hope that December is a joyous month and that you just take it easy and take a breath. Just take a breath when you feel completely overwhelmed. So until the next time, bye for now. Take care.